everyone. So, welcome to my podcast. And today I have a member who is also a mother. And today we're going to have a parent to parent talk, especially on eczema, having an eczema kid, and on the emotional roller coaster that we all go through as a mother. And Alex is here with me today. We'll also talk about being a parent of an eczema kid and how it goes. And it is going to be a very raw conversation between two mothers here today. And we're going to expose some of the myths as well, probably. Yeah, so here's Alexis. What do you have to say about it?
Hi, I'm Alexis Winters. It's so good to meet you, Sweta. I'm happy to be here. Um, and yeah, I am a mom of one son. He's 6 years old. And yes, we have been on a journey getting him through eczema. As a mother who experienced eczema herself as a child and also into adulthood, and then learning how to resolve eczema for myself and for him has been a journey, I would say, a long journey, a learning
Yes.
curve, but it's been so valuable, so worth it to figure out and to get where we are now. So yeah, I'm happy to be here and have this conversation.
Yes, yeah. Thank you so much, Alexis, for joining me today and bringing out our audience so much information, from the mother herself. And like you said, the journey, there was I had two kids with eczema, and I know the journey is so difficult. And also sometimes after the journey, yes, our kids are eczema free now, maybe, but we still carry on that trauma with us, right? So tell me a little bit about the journey that you're saying. How was it for you emotionally as a mom to take care of your son while he had probably when he was at the peak of that eczema?
Yeah, it was very challenging. It's interesting. There was one thing that I carried, which was guilt,
Yes.
which is something that moms carry around a
Yes.
variety of things. But for
Yes.
him having eczema, as I said, because I had eczema, I felt like I gave him this. Why
Uh,
couldn't he have gotten the
I know
skin
the
gene from my husband as opposed to me? Because my husband doesn't have eczema. And so yeah, so when he was a baby, I nursed him, and I would notice that if I had certain foods, and I didn't really know specifically, but I would notice that he would get this rash on
yes.
both of his cheeks. And then when he was about 2 years old, I would say was when it really got pronounced. So he
Yes.
had it on his cheeks. He had it on the inside of his elbows. He had it behind his knees,
Yes.
and he would scratch at it. Of course, his skin would break. So just seeing him in pain, seeing him, so itchy, and trying to keep up with keeping his nails clipped so that he doesn't scratch so much or that
Yeah.
it can get
I know
infected.
that feeling. Yes.
Yeah, so that's very stressful. And then
Yeah.
also wondering, is it the type of detergent? So, looking for different detergents, trial and error, making sure that we're giving him
Hmm.
something that's not going to,
Right.
bother his skin, which soaps to use,
I know the feeling.
which
Yep.
lotions to use. Yeah, so
I
all of
know.
those things,
Yes.
just trying to figure out,
Exactly.
how best
And
we
I
could help
know
him.
all the words that you're saying. I feel like as if you what's in my mind, because that's
Mm-hmm.
exactly what I've been through, and I'm still going through. Because my second kid also has severe eczema. Well, now he is not that severe, but still he
Mm-hmm.
had severe. Both had severe. Talking about the guilt. Oh my God, I can so much relate. I remember thinking when I went to obviously to all the doctors, dermatologists,
Mm-hmm.
allergists, just name all kinds of lotions I was applying and
Mm-hmm.
everything. And then when I learned that babies are not born with clean slate, that's when I felt like my heart sank. Like
Mm-hmm.
did I give my something to my daughter that caused
Mm-hmm.
eczema? I didn't have eczema then. So both my
Mm-hmm.
kids, when they were born, I didn't have eczema in my family. No one had eczema, but still I had the guilt. So this is coming from a mother who didn't have an eczema or my husband's side, my family side. None of us had eczema, but still we carried the guilt. But still I carried the
Mm-hmm.
guilt. Did I give it? And the funny thing is, when I was in that state of mind, I didn't think that, you know what, it's not only me. My husband is also there, responsible for having this
Right?
kid.
Yeah.
Why is he not having that as much guilt as me? Because we're
Mm-hmm.
mothers. We carry this.
We carry it
It's
all on.
probably
Yeah.
inherited or it's in our DNA. I don't know. But it's mostly probably we inherited that we are supposed to be the one giving birth to our kid, taking care of them, and we're supposed to probably carry the guilt. So we have that
Mm-hmm.
inherited feeling. So I can totally relate with the guilt. And the part where you said the lotions and the soaps to use, I had the same feeling. I don't know. Even till now, I'm still searching. Is there any other lotion which might feel a little better on skin?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it will calm the itchy skin. And it took me a really hard time to understand that and to accept it, I would say, more than understanding. My kid has eczema. I need to accept it
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah.
we feel like, no, our kids should be born perfect.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all like how they show in the videos. The
Mm-hmm.
motherhood is so bliss and so
Mm-hmm.
nice, but it's very, yes, it's a very fulfilling, happy journey with our kid. We love being a mother, but at the same time, especially with eczema kid, we bring on so much of frustration, guilt, hopelessness feeling, and no sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk a little bit about no sleep because they wake up. My son still wakes up. It's been 6 years for me. I don't remember few nights. I can count it hand probably 4 or 5 nights I might have slept throughout the night, or else I don't remember in 6 years sleeping throughout the
Yeah. Yeah.
night because my kid wakes up itching at night
Mm-hmm.
and the sound. So let's talk a little bit about sleep. How did that affected you?
I would say that when my son would sleep, he didn't wake up from the eczema. It was more so upon waking, he would start itching or start scratching rather. So I was able, I mean, I didn't sleep at night for other reasons, just because of being worried. Is he okay? Is he hot? Is he cold? Just checking in. But yeah, upon waking for him was when he would start, I guess noticing the symptoms and feeling the itch and feeling the need
Yes.
to scratch.
Yeah, that's a really good point that you put there, Alexis. And I wake up because my kids always itch at night.
Hmm.
But, even if it seems like, and I'm feeling like better actually, you know why? Because I'm like, hey, even if they were not itching, most probably I would have woke up
Something else,
just to,
yeah.
is he sleeping well? Is she sleeping well?
Mhm.
The anxiousness, so much
Mhm.
anxiousness we have that is not letting us sleep. So turns out, even if my kid were not itching, I would have probably woke up because of that
Something
anxiety
else.
that if my kid is
Yeah.
sleeping or not. Yeah, that's a really good point. Like for all the mothers out there, I just want to validate that. If you're waking up at night, it's valid. If you're anxious, it's valid. All your emotions,
Mhm.
whatever you guys are feeling, it's all valid because it's a very difficult journey. Recently, my friend said, eczema is right on your face. It's right out
Mhm.
there. You can see it. So it's
Mhm.
so difficult. And she was also pointing how other kids, they might have an issue, but at least you get few hours of sleep and then wake up in the morning and then you figure out things. But she felt that, it was so much on eczema that it was right on face and on it, itching and
Mhm.
flare up and then food,
Mhm.
like, oh my God, let's not even talk about it. I think I need to start tapping if I have to talk
Yes,
about
yeah.
food because it was such a roller coaster. And now for me, having another kid, so my first kid doesn't have much eczema, so she can eat more and
Mhm.
anything. In fact, right now she doesn't have allergy to anything. While my second kid, I have to be careful what I give. So now
Mhm.
there's a fight in the house that my elder one wants something while my younger ones cannot eat.
Mhm.
So I have to adjust the food based on my younger one, and my elder one does not like that. Like why it has to
Mhm.
be according to him all the time? Why does it have to be
Mhm.
according to my brother all the time? So the challenges it brings, I know I'm smiling here, but under that smile, I really want to say there was a lot of trauma.
Mhm.
And I think the worst, and I'm being a very vulnerable here with my feeling here right now today, is I think when my daughter had that extreme eczema where I didn't know anything, and that was before finding my naturopath, was like, I wish my daughter would have not been alive. I
Mhm.
wish I did not give birth to her. It was that low sinking feeling that you have when, and I remember she was constantly itching. So I really need to tap on this while I'm talking. She was
Mhm.
constantly
Yeah,
itching, and
sure.
I couldn't figure out. Like I have been to thousands of doctors. And the other point I want to talk to you about, how did you feel? So I'm guessing your journey has been very similar. Like, you probably went to several doctors and you guys found your naturopath.
Mhm.
And the other thing is the unsolicited advice that we get from
Yeah.
friends, and all well meaning advice. I get
Mhm.
it. They all are talking from the point of helping us out. But when you are at that point in that mental state, it felt like an unsolicited advice. What do you have to say about that? Did you face anything like that or something similar to it?
I would say that not necessarily. So the advice I got, of course, was, to see his pediatrician and I actually sought out advice, from his pediatrician. I knew that the course of treatment from my own experience was a steroid medication or some type of steroid cream. And I knew I didn't want to go go that route. And so fortunately I never did. But I think one of the things was trying different, everyone, as you said, wanted to be helpful. So I would get recommendations for this product. So one particular product was, I think it was like a honey-based product. And so I think initially I was excited because they said, this really helped me, maybe it
Yes.
can help you. And I think it was just the disappointment of trying product after product after product and
Hmm.
it not doing anything. And
Yes.
so I think I just started losing faith in it's not that he's lacking this product. It's something from within that is lacking. And so,
Yes.
which encouraged me to seek out help from a naturopathic doctor just to kind of get to the root cause of it. But I think that was something similar that you mentioned was just the recommendations
Yes.
of different products that, at first, we're hopeful, hopefully this will be the one. And it turns out that it didn't work for
Yes,
us.
exactly. The roller coaster of the emotions that you put on hope. And I think another feeling
Mm-hmm.
that we really can connect eczema mothers out there or eczema parents, caretaker is the hope. I remember putting hope on lots of lotions too. And
Mm-hmm.
it's so
Yeah.
devastating to apply on
Mm-hmm.
it and it does not work.
Right.
We put our
Or it
hopes
makes
so
it
up.
worse. Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
exactly. And makes
aggravates
it
it.
worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone is like, this one works so great.
Mm-hmm.
And then I go on purchase, and they're not cheap, let me tell you. The eczema creams
Not at
out
all.
there, I have
Yeah.
not found anything with less expensive. Everything's so
Yeah.
pricey. And then
Mm-hmm.
I go on, and then I budget it out, and then I plan it. I'm like, yes, finally. And then apply it, and turns out it does not work. Nothing happens.
Right.
Like nothing, literally, no change on skin. And I'm like, how did it work for others? The guilt
Mm-hmm.
again. How did it work for others and not me? Why me?
Mm-hmm.
Why my
Mm-hmm.
family? Why my kid? The questions, it's haunting questions at that time when you're in that mental space.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you agree with me, Alexis, on this. Like,
Yeah,
why is it not?
absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Like, why is it not working? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And
And then it
then
also made me think, like, did it really work on you? I don't know.
yes. Yeah, I remember going out and checking, especially if I found some online solution, going out and checking on their profile picture if this person is real or not, who's really posting
Mm-hmm.
it. I
Mm-hmm.
remember that. I'm like, okay, did I got fooled out online, by
Right.
someone?
Right.
Yeah, I
Exactly.
remember
Exactly.
checking out. Yeah, and then finally for me, with my daughter, first one, it was more of a like, I found it because some other mother suggested me naturopath and it helped. I figure out that first, eczema is not a skin condition.
Right. Yeah.
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 Do you want to share a little bit experience on that? Both me and Alexis, we're not doctors here or anything, but we're just talking how we found out that eczema is not a skin condition, and this information might help our listeners or eczema parents that how eczema is not a skin condition, or maybe a little bit about
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just doing a lot of research about it. And then even again from my own experience, I noticed that when I cut certain foods out, that my eczema would improve. Also, I noticed a correlation between my allergies and
Yeah.
eczema. So if I went to certain areas of the world, if I went to the tropics, for example, like a
Hmm.
tropical climate, I noticed that my eczema would flare up.
Yes.
So I knew that it was something related to immunity, the immune system. It definitely was something related to the gut, just from my own experience. And so I remember doing a Google search, just looking for, I think I searched for something like naturopathic or integrative medicine for pediatrics. And I stumbled across a doctor who now became a naturopathic doctor.
Correct.
And one of the first things that she did, which I really appreciated, was that, she wanted to do testing as far as
Yeah.
allergies were concerned. She wanted to do testing as far as, okay, what's he eating and is he reacting to it in any way? So nothing was topical, nothing was just skin deep,
Exactly.
as you mentioned. Like it
Yes.
was all from within, doing a big deep dive into um what it could be. So I remember him
Yes.
having an allergy test and it coming back with a barrage of different foods that he reacted to, some of which I don't really think that I never saw like a physical reaction. There was no, flare up or anything. So we kind of took those into consideration. And one thing that she started immediately was that she prescribed a digestive enzyme
Hmm.
and she prescribed probiotics. And within a few months, I definitely started noticing a difference just with those two things added
Wow.
on.
Yeah.
And so, again, that also convinced me that it's definitely, as you said, just not a skin disease. It shows up in the skin, but it's definitely something deeper. So I think finding that and also thinking about the role that inflammation plays.
Yes.
And it's very important because most kid foods or baby foods, toddler foods are highly
Yes.
inflammatory.
Yes.
And so when I learned, okay, if I take these foods out of his diet and just kind of see, how
Mm-hmm.
does he made such improvement.
Yes.
And I think that that's been the key, is being able to take that leap of doing something different, not just
Yes.
looking at it as a skin disease. I think that's a huge piece
Yes.
for moms, and to see, okay, it doesn't just stop at applying this cream twice a day and then, it maybe keeping it dormant or maybe just kind of calming it down, but actually figuring out what's
Yes.
causing it and then
Exactly.
attacking that. So yeah, that's
True.
been a huge, huge piece.
Yes, true. I think first thing what we moms do, and I did exactly the same, thinking that it's a skin condition. And like Alexis
Mm-hmm.
said, same thing, similar journey with me. When I found a naturopath, and then she told me that when I asked her what should I apply, she was like, even if you just apply a plain coconut oil, if her skin is not reacting, that's okay. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
wow, how is that possible? I thought
Mm-hmm.
we're supposed to apply on skin. And I think this piece of information will be really helpful for parents who are listening this is don't think eczema is just a skin condition. And
Mm-hmm.
as mom, what we do is as a mom, we frantically apply the lotions, and then that's what doctors suggest too, for whatever reason. But we frantically apply this and that, and with all the clothes getting all sticky
Oh
and
my
all
gosh, and
lotion.
stained and oiled. I
I
I
know.
remember that. We have so many shirts of his that were stained from the
Yeah, and all the
creams and
bed
ocean.
sheets too.
Yeah,
I had to throw away all the bed sheets. No matter how many times you
that
wash
is
it, it
true.
does not even
Right,
go
doesn't come
away.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know,
I
yes,
forgot about that point. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, oh my
I
God. I
don't
mean,
miss that.
yeah, it's so much stress. Like, I know we're laughing
Mm-hmm.
here, but I feel like there was so much stress, like, the stain, the smell,
Mm-hmm.
and my daughter, I remember it took her 4 years to be
Mm-hmm.
99% eczema free. Like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I put her only on footed pajamas.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, put the lotion, put footed pajamas.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then even on hair, my daughter had extreme eczema, so all over her body, even her hair had it, ears had it, face. So when I applied those thick lotions and put her on bed, the bed sheet and the
Mm-hmm.
pillowcases, like
Mm-hmm.
how much that is extra work for a mom.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
mom, she's already so exhausted with all the work that she has to do and the mental load. On top
Mm-hmm.
of that, doing laundry is extra
Mm-hmm.
load.
Yeah.
So all these small things are so unnoticed, but it's taking a lot of mental load on a
Mm-hmm.
mother, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, so coming back to the skin condition, it's not really a skin condition. And since it's right there, we see it on the skin, it doesn't necessarily means that
It
it's
doesn't
the
stop there.
skin. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a skin condition. There's something inside that's going on, and it's better to find a root cause or clean it inside out your body.
Mm-hmm.
I took a path of detoxing my daughter, which worked really
Mm-hmm.
well. So consult your naturopath, and or whoever you're consulting, to figure out not only skin but also what's really going on inside.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. So coming to the emotional toll, Alexis, what do you think helped you a lot when you were taking care of your son's eczema?
Well, I think knowing that, for one, knowing that I wasn't alone was helpful. My husband was a huge, huge help and just kind of reminding me, it's not you,
Yeah,
it's not
that's
your
sweet.
fault.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that was very helpful, just kind of getting that reassurance. Tapping. So you mentioned tapping. Tapping was a
Yes.
huge piece in just
Yes.
helping me to calm down, to kind of to regulate my nervous system so that I wasn't reacting in that way. And then just coming from a place of, doing the best that I can. I know that, my son's doing the best that he can. I'm doing the best that I can. And just kind of not being so hard on myself, because it is a very tricky um just, some days are better than others, some nights are better than others, seasons change, which makes, can contribute to improvement or
Yeah.
not, depending on where you live and the environmental factors and such. So I think, yeah, tapping was huge. The reassurance from my husband was huge, and then just kind of knowing I'm doing the best that I can. So just even that self reassurance
Yes.
help with the emotional piece. And then also, I think when I found, kind of going back, when I found help and I noticed that it started going in the right direction, that gave me hope. which then, of course, helped to just kind of stay the course, keep on the track. And, with each visit, with each follow-up visit, noticing, okay, he's improving more and more. That hope also helped to, encourage me and to help me to remain positive and just kind of try, just stay the course. And yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
it is so important for mothers, the primary caretakers, to be, not having that feeling of guilt. Like you said, your husband was there, keep assuring you that it's not you. It's very
Mm-hmm.
important to have partner support. So in my case, my husband was supportive, yes, but basically I had to do all the mental work because he was
Mm-hmm.
clueless,
Mm-hmm.
as we started as clueless as I was, we both were clueless what's going on.
Yeah.
But then I obviously took extra walk on knowing what was going on and talking to my naturopath, talking to doctors, while my husband took a little backseat there. And I feel like he didn't
Mm-hmm.
catch up with me on knowing the
Yeah.
information. So
Yeah.
he was all the time, what's going on? And I told him, it's the food. We probably have to cut down on certain foods. Then he's asking me questions. And I think that made me very annoyed. And I felt at a
Mm-hmm.
point that you're not supportive. Then he's like, I'm just asking questions. So at one point I told him, just trust me.
Mm-hmm.
Just trust me. Don't ask me questions because I'm not at a
Mm-hmm.
mental space to give you all the answers because I myself am trying to figure this
Trying to
out.
learn. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
so now if anyone asks me, I can tell. Ask me any questions, I can tell. But back then when I was learning, I felt it was so annoying, even if my husband was trying to be helpful. So all the
Mm-hmm.
moms, if you're annoyed by your partner,
Yeah.
I just want to say that that's so natural
Mm-hmm.
and it's a validated feelings
Mm-hmm.
because when you are at that point trying to learn what's going on, you don't want to be questioned. I feel like my husband was questioning my decision. And even if he is, like, it's, don't question because I'm trying to learn
Mm-hmm.
and I'm trying to figure it out too.
Right,
So
right.
yeah, and self-assurance, yes, I think I had a community of mothers back then. My doctor, she does not have that community anymore. But I think being with the like-minded mothers and knowing that they are also going through similar journey really helped me. And that is when I also found 6 years back EFT tapping.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm looking back now, if there was no tapping, I'm tapping now.
Yeah.
If there's no tapping, I don't know what would have
Mm-hmm.
been,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
how would I been able to handle this because it's everyday thing and it's not. And I was breastfeeding my daughter as well, so I had to take on my diet. I have to cut down
Mm-hmm.
all the food that I really liked. So first is dairy. It was really difficult
Same.
for me because I'm kind of person who used to rely on cakes and chocolates for emotional support.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm in the situation where I need lots of emotional support, but I can't really eat my chocolates and cake. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah. What
what
am I
in
gonna
the
do?
world? Yeah, what am I gonna do? And even though I learned in the journey that we can craving as well, we can work with tapping, and now I don't really rely on those cakes and chocolates anymore, even though I still eat sometimes. But back then I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
And that made it so difficult. And I remember looking everywhere, the vegan chocolate anywhere I could find, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, and
Did you
taking
find some?
those. Yeah, I found some. I used to eat those some, but it was very difficult. I would say it
Mm-hmm.
was so difficult until I found tapping. And the other thing with tapping, I noticed that your kid's eczema is actually not because of your stress or exhaustion, but it's actually a great trigger,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's triggering you what's
Mm-hmm.
already inside
Mm-hmm.
you, like the feeling of exhaustion,
Mm-hmm.
tiredness, feeling of hopelessness, the feeling of guilt, what we already have. My kid was amplifying that,
Mm-hmm.
and to accept that was a little hard for me, but with tapping, obviously with gentle tapping, it was easy. Do you want to talk a little bit about that, Alexis, like how it's
Yeah.
really triggering,
Yeah.
emotionally
It
triggering?
it certainly is, you could, as I mentioned before, waking up during the night because of
Yeah.
of the symptoms of eczema wasn't an experience that I had. But when he did wake up and seeing, wow, it's starting to bleed or, something like that's very triggering. That's very emotional. And you're just like, it's defeating. And so, yeah, those emotions are difficult. As I mentioned, when the seasons changed. So for him, he would have a flare up in the summertime. And so just trying to make sure, we're out at the playground or at the beach and making sure that, he is staying as cool as possible, that I have like some clean, cold cloths that I can use to put on his skin, so that if he had a flare up, it wasn't painful. Excuse me. I'm trying to find different again, like salves or creams, and keeping them, making sure that if we went out that I kept them, or if he went to spend the night at his grandparents' house that I packed it away. Like all of those things are very triggering. And then as you mentioned, the food piece is huge. So I think
Yes.
one of the biggest stressors, of course, is what is he going to eat? And
Yes.
so, we had to cut out so many things. So we're left with this small pool, this small pool of choices. And it's not easy having to, after you're in and day out, you get used to, the whole process and what he's eating and going to the grocery store. But when it comes to, having a sitter or spending the night at his grandparents' house, for example, spending
Yes.
the weekend, ordinarily, you're able just to send your child off with some packed bags,
True.
and, the grandparents take care of it all. But
Yeah,
for
it's a
us,
less mental load. Like you have to now
yeah,
think
exactly.
extra, and that's
Extra.
exhausting.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
exhausting. And like out instructions, make sure that he does not have dairy, make sure he does not have, gluten and grains and this and that, and then packing all of the food.
Yes.
So yeah, that was a lot trying to, so it took away that like, oh yes, we have a weekend to ourselves, or we have
Yeah,
a weekend, without the kid.
exactly.
It's like, okay, let's make sure that, we go to the grocery store, we get all of his food, because I'm not going to expect, my his grandparents to have to
Yes,
provide all of those
exactly.
things.
Yeah.
So
And they
yeah,
would
it's
not know
definitely a
it
huge,
either.
right, exactly,
Yeah, I
exactly.
think the grandparents part is a different emotional trigger for me because
Yeah,
they would not know it. They never faced
right,
something like this.
right.
And explaining it to them, they would not get it. And that's more
Mm-hmm.
irritation on our part. Again,
Mm-hmm.
we have to explain it to them. And we're not always in that calm
In that
mental
space,
space where,
yeah, exactly, exactly,
yeah,
yeah. So yeah, I think that those things, those pieces are triggering. I mean, there's
yes,
a lot there to
a lot.
unpack.
I know
But
there's a
yeah,
lot.
I would say, yeah, like seeing it, as you
Mhm.
mentioned, seeing it because it's right in front of your face, it's
Yes,
definitely triggering,
true.
especially during a flare up, especially when they're uncomfortable,
Yes,
and you're just trying to keep them as happy and healthy as possible.
yeah,
And when you're faced with a challenge, and then depending on the severity of it, I mean,
yes,
some children have it very severe, as you was talk if you were as you were
yes,
mentioning about your daughter and having it, basically head to toe. It's very upsetting, just the appearance of it, but also how it feels for them. And you can just,
yes.
sympathize and empathize with your kids. So yeah, it's no fun.
Yeah, no, definitely it's no fun. And then it's hard, it's triggering, and it's triggering every sector of your emotions.
Mm-hmm.
And then I feel like, the whole day you deal with them, their emotions, and they themselves are also very cranky and itchy.
Mm-hmm.
You sit with them. For me, for my daughter, I had to even put her, I remember she used to remove the gloves, so I had to put her long socks so that she
Mm-hmm.
does not remove it. And then she couldn't play. So I had to play with her and then you don't get night sleep. Whole day you're
Mm-hmm.
tired and you don't get night
Mm-hmm.
sleep. So that is so exhausting, so
Mm-hmm.
tiring. I can go on and on with this. Yes, but I think the greatest
Yeah.
help for me was being with the moms 6 years
Mhm.
back, and I'm still friend with all those moms, because we still get it. We still get it, and so many of moms, we had another kid together, and same thing. Our other kid also had eczema. But looking from my first kid to second, obviously first I had the community. The help
Mhm.
and support of the community was so great, and EFT tapping. I
Mhm.
worked on my own issues, basically the ones that I was triggered by eczema, my kids' eczema. Working on EFT tapping in community now with my second son, I can definitely say there's a change. I can definitely see that I'm more calmer and better and less agitated
Mhm.
and less anxiousness with my second born. So many things that we talked about, like eczema is not a skin condition, and also it's a journey. If it's
Mhm.
not like a month 1 month thing, you're in the
Yeah.
journey, it takes
Right.
years. For my daughter, it
Years.
took
Yeah.
4 or 5 years completely, where I
Mhm.
can say, okay, my daughter does not
Mhm.
have eczema anymore you
Mhm.
know
Yeah.
and yeah, and also the emotional side for our kid. My daughter, I remember, she every time she gets nervous, she used to just itch.
Mhm. Mhm.
And even now, okay, she does not have eczema. Even now, sometimes when she's very nervous, she goes just like this. And I'm like, what happened? Why are you itching? And she's like, oh, she's 6 now, 6.5. And she's like, oh. Yeah, haha. She just smiles. Yeah. So, I had to still now I have to remind her that. So, along with us, our kids. So, having hope as a mom, it's very important for our kids because it gives the strength to our kids.
Mm-hmm.
And for our viewers, I just want to say you can also tap with your kids. So, you guys can sit
Absolutely.
together and
Yeah.
tap. It's really helpful for the kids as well,
Mm-hmm.
and they will because they're also going through lots of emotions. I have had a mom who said that her daughter is also 6 and she would ask questions like, why none of my friends have this condition, but why
Mm-hmm.
am I having? So those questions, and as a mom being in a position not able to answer, that would create less hope and less confidence on kids. But
Mm-hmm.
imagine you're a mom who's like already with, confident, even though your kid have eczema, you're confident that you can take care of them or manage their eczema.
Right.
You'll be
Yeah.
able to answer those questions for your kids as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah.
Absolutely.
So if I just wanted to ask maybe a last question. I don't know, is there anything else you want to add?
Well, I have to say, as you mentioned, it can be a long journey. So for us, it was at least 2 years where we found, where we're at the point that we are now. I would say was probably been 4 years
Yes.
since we first started seeking treatment until now, where his symptoms are well managed and his eczema is non-existent at this point.
Yes.
So I think, just kind of having that stick to itness,
Yes.
again, following the process because it's really
Yeah.
difficult. And as you mentioned, having the community of like minded individuals, mothers, fathers, parents in general.
Yes.
But it's so important because oftentimes we are outnumbered by experience or outnumbered by opinions, courses of treatment, etc. And
Yes.
so having found your tribe or your village of like-minded people
Yeah.
just to support you and to encourage you, to uplift you and just kind of remind you like you're doing, you're on the right track. I think it's so important. And it's truly invaluable for this situation.
Yes.
But I think that you and I are testament to, there is help, there is hope.
Exactly.
And so the situation can improve. It's just a matter, I think, of finding the right practitioner, finding the right path. And once you find it, just sticking to it and trusting the process because it really can
Yes.
work.
Yeah, I think Alexis made a very good point here that having the hope. Like we
Hmm.
both kid had eczema and both of our kid are eczema free now. My son
Yeah.
is still working, but he's doing a lot better and he's progressing. So we just want to testify that there's hope. So don't
Hmm.
lose the hope. Sorry, don't lose the hope and also sticking to it. And it's a long, long journey. So being with a like-minded moms and like-minded caretakers will really help you and also gives you the answers of the questions that you really have. And having a tool like EFT tapping while doing that is like a double bonus while
Hmm.
you're working on the
Hmm.
yeah, while you're working on your kids' eczema. And hope is, I think, a biggest thing. Don't lose hope. There is a hope. We have dealt with it. You'll also be fine. You're doing great.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think that's what it is. What is the one thing you feel that I wish I would have done this when I was dealing with the kids'
Oh,
eczema? Obviously,
yeah.
when we are on that mental space, so we
Hmm.
couldn't think then, but now we're on the other side. Now we're in the space where we are more calmer, right? And less stress. So now thinking of back, what is the one thing you felt, I could have done it better or not stressed about this or anything?
So, one thing comes to mind, and so I'm a big researcher, and there isn't a lot of
Hmm.
scientific fact around this, but I'm just curious, and I
Yes,
wonder about the use of probiotics in a mother during pregnancy. So
yes,
I
good point.
wonder sometimes I'm just curious and I wonder about like of course, I was prescribed prenatal vitamins and taking those
Yes,
faithfully, making sure that I, ate right and made sure that I had all my macronutrients, that I was exercising
yes,
and staying healthy. But one thing I didn't focus on was my own gut health. So I
yes,
think that's one thing. And it may sound like an oxymoron because I've realized like, well, it isn't my fault. This isn't something that I gave my
yes,
son. But at the same time, um, that's one thing that I look back and say, if I could go back and do something differently, I probably
yes,
would have been more in tune to my own gut health,
yes,
just to kind of reinforce any to reinforce his own gut
Yes.
microbiome. So I
Yes.
wonder if that could have been helpful. But yeah, so I would say that's the
Yes.
one thing. I think just
Yes.
being
No,
more
that's a
focused on
really
my own
good,
gut health.
really good point. Working on yourself is very important. And I'm just gonna share real quick my experiences. Obviously, for my daughter, I didn't know anything.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I was kind of person who would don't care about what I eat. I would just drive to McDonald's and eat sandwich
Mm-hmm.
every day. Nothing
Uh-huh.
against McDonald's, but yeah. And I just used to eat all the kind of junk food. I didn't care. And my daughter had eczema since she was 3 months old, and it lasted till she was 4.5
Mm-hmm.
or 5 years, and I think 4.5. And after that, I could say, she's eczema free. So there was a long journey. So obviously, in between, all those things, the doctors, this, that, and all that. For my son, I was very careful. I did all my detoxing and everything and taking care of my emotional health, physical health. He had eczema only when he was 1 year old.
Mm-hmm.
And now he is 2.5. And within 1.5 year, I have seen like probably 70 to 80% he's better. So
Wow.
yeah, so definitely there is something working on your own guts. Please do work on your gut, healing your gut, or anything you feel, clearing out those liver and kidney and
Mm-hmm.
all those detox bath, everything. Yeah, definitely do it. But I'm a little bit confused in this, and probably, I don't know, we'll probably never find an answer, about all this. But the kids who are meant to have certain things, eczema or whatever, I
Mm-hmm.
feel like there is some universal energy role to play there as well. People also like to call it karma or something. They bring out their own karma, and we can't do anything. They're
Mm-hmm.
supposed to have eczema, they will have it, or any other disease, whatever it is. But how we deal with it is the big question, I think.
Yeah.
I was definitely way more stressed while I was dealing with my first kid versus my second kid. I was definitely more stressed out with my first kid taking her eczema journey versus my
Mm-hmm.
son's eczema journey. So, what is meant
Mm-hmm.
to happen, it will happen. We can't really change the course of what is meant to happen for us, right? But we
Mm-hmm.
can definitely work on ourselves and our emotions and do tapping, because I'm a big fan of tapping. I'm always like
Yeah.
tap, tap, tap all the time,
Yeah.
whatever it is, you
Yeah.
know?
Same. Same.
Yeah, just keep tapping. So keep tapping and keep working on your kids, and that's about it. And when you tap, it's not only your kids' eczema, any other thing that life brings us, you'll be able to handle with ease. And that's the
Mm-hmm.
whole point, I think. Yeah. And
Absolutely.
also,
Yeah.
I think I wanted to talk about the energy connection between a mother and kid, but I think we're out of time for today.
Okay.
All right, that is all today. And I would like to thank Alexis so much and sharing out so much information today. Thank you so much. And to all the viewers, I just want to say that if you're looking for a community, like-minded community, I do have an online community for mothers and eczema parents, and we meet every once in a month as well. It's a virtual online community, being with other moms, sharing experiences, and we do tapping, especially only on those stress and exhaustion around eczema, and of course, whatever life brings as well. So if you are looking for a community, feel free to join. You can go to my website. It's my first name, last name.com, swetakanal.com, SWETAKHANAL. Yep, that's it. And Alexis, thank you so, so, so much. I really appreciate coming out today.
It's been a pleasure. Thanks so much for having me.
Yes.
I really enjoyed our conversation.
Yes, thank you. And bye, everyone.
Bye.